Before we get started with what might be a very underrated duel, I must confess, I have a crush on Zane. This man has one of the most interesting story arcs in the series and should have gotten more play. Just repackage GX under Zane, Konami, just like Naruto did for Rock Lee that one time. But let's check in on Cyrus. Dude asked him what changed, and that's a legitimate question. Cyrus told him, nothing's changed. Stop playing, man. This has been you, bruh. Looks like he's been putting in work in the global tournament so he can muster up the courage to face his older brother, S&M Zane. But for a dude that enjoys electric joy toys, I don't know that collecting badges like Mario Scoops coins is gonna help. Coming up with his own rules for where he needs to use the card. Boy, if you don't slide Power Bond into the deck and square up already, Power Bond is living in this man's head rent free. So the crew runs up on Zane because he's there for the tournament, and Zane greets them with, "You people are all the same to me." Excuse me? What do you mean, you people? It's about to go down, but Jaden takes Cyrus's deck and shuffles it for him. By the way, peep that polymerization on the bottom of the deck. That shuffle was atrocious. Do not pass go. Do not touch anyone else's deck. He told his little brother it's his funeral. This man colder than snipers on Tarkov, but low-key he did give him fair warning and let him know if he really wanted to do this, he'd have to play by his rules, and Cyrus's face really says it all. Castleberry was a real friend in this moment, because he was ready to end this thing, and Jaden says if anything happens, they're nearby. We're talking about 1,000 ways to die kind of energy right now. What if his heart stops during this whole thing? You are not a physician. I'm not even sure you're a real duelist the way you always top deck that damn pot of greed. But Cyrus is going through with it. This is as edgy as Cyrus will ever get. I've never seen someone get hit by a truck and float like that. Man caught a short Yukin. All dragons go to heaven. Cyrus knew what this man wanted to do and stole his dragon. Zane mad. How long have you been keeping an eye on my duels, little bro? Zane's turn, and he pulls up with Exploder Dragon to clear the field and whips out instant summon for Cyber Dark Horn. Cyrus was thinking ahead with Life Force to reduce battle damage, but Zane still got that grin because his little bro catching waves. Real talk, families have been messed up from the start. And see, right here I want to make fun of Cyrus for this pose, but I remember getting bodied by my CPU this one time. I was switching out some parts, so I'm gonna let him have his moment. Man responds with a Submarine Roid direct attack, and I used to hate that card so much. And then I ran into Super Heavy Samurai Stealth Ninja. And look, he enjoyed that pain? Oh nah, Cyrus prepared to get wiped out like a recycling bin. Man talking about after a while you get used to the pain. His heart will not be agreeing with that statement. And Cyrus makes a sinful move. He plays a card to save his monster by giving his opponent a free card. He's a student. This should be fresh on his mind. That shock therapy already got this man tweaked like he's eating lightning loops for breakfast. I know siblings can fight, but this shit is wild. Man talking about duels aren't about fun. They're about pain and enduring anguish and making your opponent suffer. So you're a tournament enjoyer. What would a GX gathering be without Pot of Greed? Just peep this. When Cyrus activates training wheels, Zane could not hold that serious demeanor. Man had me in tears. It's the little things, I swear. Now here he goes. Told you. Then Jaden asks, how many Cyberdarks can one guy have? Well, I looked at the archetype and not enough, and this man is beginning to fade. Nah, Jaden, don't call out to him now. You was just hyping this man up just for this moment. Man gave him a speech about only victors deserve respect. Told you before, that man has never played Yu-Gi-Oh! The moment he took an L, his life flashed before his eyes. He told his cyber dragons to get lost and invested his gems into a new archetype. This man is the blueprint of a seasoned tournament duelist. Man said you either get hurt or control the hurt inflicted on the weak. Duel Academy education left this child behind. When did his glasses fall off? It's time to Morpheus his ass, because this man draws the power bond that Jaden slid into his deck like an unwanted Twitter DM, then fuses into Parapsychroid so he can pedal into this man's life points directly with double the foot power. But Zane came prepared with disrespect because he's going to activate Power Wall and reduce the monster's attack by sending his cards to the grave. But he did not have to toss them all over the damn courtyard. Cyrus got to pay the price for using that power bond, but not before using mirror damage to flip that over to Zane. And he thinks he has this in the bag. Check out this man's confidence. He's looking like an Uchiha. Not to be outdone though, Zane tossed his Cyber End Dragon to negate the damage. Man has one card left and said, I'll still beat you. And I'd believe him. Looks like Cyrus does too, because that sweat drop that's been hanging around on his cheek all game's still there. And with this one card, Zane sets up the play to directly attack 3 times. This is a public service announcement. If you have anyone you know you'd call a bro looking like this when you're about to become Static Shock, call 911 and keep distance. There's no reason to try to make that relationship work. He microwaved that man, but he's still standing. I gotta give him credit, it's not just the new jacket he's wearing, he is really walking in a new lane. But now it's Zane's time to feast. He's gonna turn every monster into a dragon in the graveyards and activates instant fusion to summon Cyber Dark Dragon and consume the Cyber End Dragon he ditched earlier and boost all the way up to 8800 attack. It's over. Cyrus got emergency provisions and really negated an 8800 attack on the fly, but then reality hit, because nobody, and I mean nobody, is ready for a defusion. And he just walked off after putting him on the ground. Nah, no matter what happens after that, we are not on speaking terms. Holidays cannot account for this level of disrespect.